Hello 4th grade, I'm super happy that you are here. Welcome everyone to this new class. As you might know, today we're going to be working on some more reviews about the activities or the topics, the vocabulary, the grammar that we learned in Unit 7 and in Unit 8. In this case, we're going to review about grammar from Unit 7 that it was, or was it Unit 8? So we're going to review about it. Superlative and comparative adjectives. Remember that first of all, in previous units we were learning about the adjectives, but this time we were learning how to make them into comparatives and into superlatives. There's a big difference between them, when and how to use them. So we're going to be reviewing this topic so you might remember what's the difference between a comparative and a superlative. When you are going to use a comparative or superlative, sometimes it is a pretty bit confusing, but if you know this topic really well, you are not going to have any problems in using them. So as you can see here, I'm showing you a chart. This is a different chart, and it says comparative superlatives. Remember that we use a comparative when we are comparing two objects, to people, etc. This one with this other one. In a superlative, we use it when we compare this one with 2, 3, 5 or more, etc. Okay, that's a superlative. That's the difference. We use superlatives when we compare one with a group of other things, other subjects. For example, as you can see in here, we have the dog is faster than an elephant. So we are comparing the dog with the elephant, okay? So for that reason, it is a comparative. Now we say the horse is the fastest, okay? So we don't have the other subject in which one we are comparing the horse. But if you try to understand the sentence, if you understand it pretty well, it means that you are comparing the horse with all of the animals that you know that there exist around the world. So this is the reason why they say that the horse is the fastest animal, because in the whole world, well, this is the fastest. I don't know if it's true, but that's just an example. So now we have the third example. The horse is bigger than a dog. So we have a comparative because we are comparing the horse with just one dog. So that's it, it's a comparative. The elephant is the heaviest, okay? In this case, so because we have the pictures of the dog, the horse, and the elephant. So from these three animals, the elephant, we know that of course an elephant is heavier than a dog, is heavier than a horse. So between these three animals, the elephant is the most heavy, the heaviest, okay? Superlative, okay? Because we're comparing the elephant with the dog and the horse. The last one says, the dog is more energetic than the elephant, okay? So in this case, this is a comparative because we're comparing just the dog with the elephant, okay? Okay, so remember that we have some rules to know or to write this comparative into a superlative. Most of the times you just need to add ER or EST, but there are some other rules because not all of the times you can do that. Not all of the times you can have a regular adjective. Remember that we have some irregular ones and there are some ones that are larger. So let's check it out. When we have an adjective that is just made out from one syllable, like fast or young, even though young seems like a little bit too long, but it is not. You cannot divide this into 2 syllables or 3 syllables because it's just one sound, young, okay? So then we have comparative and superlative. Now we are going to make these adjectives fast and young into comparative and superlative. For example, remember that the main rule, you need to add ER for comparative, EST for superlative. So it will be faster, comparative, superlative, the fastest, okay? Remember, always your superlative needs to have the fastest, the youngest, the nicest, etc., etc. Okay? And young into comparative, younger, superlative, the youngest. Okay? So then we have one syllable ending in E. If your adjective already ends with E, like nice or strange, you have the E at the end. It doesn't mean that you are going to add ER, EST again. So you just need to add R or ST. Like nicer, stranger into comparative, and superlative, the nicest, the strangest. Now, we have a one-syllable adjective, super short, like big and hot, but they finish in a consonant and a vowel. De atrás para adelante. We have big, consonant G, I vowel. Hot, consonant T, vowel O. Okay, so what do we do with these ones? We need to double the last consonant and add ER or EST depending if it's comparative or superlative. So now, how would you write big? We will say bigger with double G, okay? Bigger. Or in superlative, the biggest. Again, with double G. Now, hot. Hot in comparative will be hotter. In superlative, the hottest with double T, okay? So don't forget to pay attention with this. These are short adjectives. They might seem like the first category, but you need to pay attention if it finishes with a consonant and before it is a vowel, okay? So you need to pay attention to this. Of course, I'm giving you just 2 examples of each, because if I give you more, it will take us a long time. So you need to be practicing these. So the next category says 2 syllables ending in Y, like happy, crazy. We can also say funny, etc., etc. So you need to remove that Y and add this. Happier, crazier into comparative. But in superlative, it will be almost the same. Now you just need to say the happiest or the craziest with I, okay? Not with Y, just with I, if it makes sense. Now, 2 or more syllables, we're almost there. 2 or more syllables, remember that these are the long adjectives that I always tell you. Like we have in here famous, we can also say beautiful, awesome, and what else? Dangerous, we can also say dangerous and some others. We remember that if we have an adjective that is that long, we need to say more famous, not famouser. It is not correct. So if it's a comparative, you need to add more before your adjective. More famous, more beautiful. Comparative. Superlative, the most famous, the most beautiful, okay? More for comparative, most for superlative, okay? Now, remember that there are some exceptions, some irregular adjectives like good, bad, far, etc. And I showed you last week, I showed you a chart with these irregular adjectives. But remember that we are going to focus only on good and bad. Like good into comparative will be better, superlative, the best. For example, if you say something common that you say, she's my best friend or he's my best friend, it means that probably I have a lot of friends. I have friends at school, I have friends around my neighborhood, but she is my best friend. Of all the friends that I have, she is the best. So this is one superlative. It means that I'm comparing her with all of the friends that I have. I'm saying that she's the best. And then we have bad in comparative will be worse, superlative worst, the worst, okay? So if we are ready with this, or if you have questions, you can tell me, but we're going to do our review activities. So let's check it out. Now, in these activities, they are going to be similar as the one that we did yesterday. It says use the adjectives in comparative or superlative, okay? And I'm going to give you 3 options, and of course you need to say aloud or in your mind you can say it. Remember, no es necesario que copiemos nada, que entreguemos actividades. If you want to copy this to study, it's okay, but those are the rules. The sentence says, my sister thinks she's blank. Adjective, intelligent than me, but I don't agree. Letter A, intelligenter. Letter B, more intelligent. C, most intelligent. Which one is the correct option? Remember, I'm comparing my sister with me, so it means that it is a comparative. So how would you write intelligent into comparative? If your answer was letter A, B, C, the correct answer is more intelligent, letter B. My sister thinks she's more intelligent than me, but I don't agree. Remember, we will use more because it's a comparative, but it is also a long adjective. So remember that we use more. Next one. Avatar is probably blank, bad film I've seen. A, the worst. B, better. C, more worst. Which one is the correct answer? A, B, or C? If your answer was letter A, Avatar is probably the worst film I've seen, that's correct, because I'm comparing, maybe in here we don't have all the movies I ever seen, but you need to understand the sentence pretty well, so you might know the intention of it. For example, it's probably the worst film I've ever seen. It means that, of course, I've seen a lot of movies, I've seen a lot of films, but from all of them, this is the worst movie of all, okay? The next one says, John is blank, nice person that I know. A, nicer. B, nicest. C, more nice. A, B, or C? If your answer was letter B, John is the nicest person that I know, that's correct, because it means that, of course, I know a lot of people, but John is from all of them, is the nicest. I'm comparing John with all the people that I know. That is a superlative. You need to add est at the end of the verb, at the end of the adjective, but now it ends with e, so it means that you just need to add st, not double the e. Okay, one more. Is Angelina Jolie blank older than Sandra Bullock? These are actresses. So you will say letter A, old. B, the oldest. C, older. This is a question as you can see in here, but it's the same structure. I'm comparing Angelina Jolie with the other actress, that is Sandra Bullock. A, B, C. The correct answer in this case will be C. Is Angelina Jolie older than Sandra Bullock? Because it's a regular adjective, we are just using comparative. And that's it. One more. A holiday by the sea is blank good than a holiday by the mountains. A, good. B, the best. C, better. By the sea or by the mountains? Is it a comparative or is it a superlative? If your answer was letter C, a holiday by the sea is better than a holiday by the mountains, well done. Remember that good is an irregular adjective, so in this case you need to remember better, the best, or for example, bad, that is worse, worst. You need to remember this. Better is the comparative way to use good into a comparative adjective. So that's it. I hope this was really useful for you, so you can get ready for the exams. If you have questions about this topic, please send a message to me, and of course I can help you. And that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember that tomorrow we have another video and we're going to be reviewing another topic, and it's super important that you watch these videos. Even though we don't have homework, we need to study for the exam. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow right here. As always, have a nice and beautiful day. Bye.